Hey everyone, welcome to Oracle Database World. My name is Richard Evans. I'm a product manager of Oracle Database Security. And today I'm going to talk to you about best practices for securing your Oracle database. Now, if you're watching this presentation, I don't have to share with you that regulations are a key driver of security today. These are just a handful of some of the regulations you might have to comply with if you're a multinational company. You have to be concerned about the ones in your region if you are just regional. So now, regardless of whether you're securing a new application or an existing application, Oracle Database Security can help you comply with your regulatory needs as well as your security needs. Now, the first step is to understand the risks you face. When you deploy a database, how do you deploy it? Are you deploying it in the most secure manner possible? When you configure that database and the surrounding applications, operating systems, and objects, are you configuring those in a best practice manner? Now, users have to access the data. The data would be so secure if it wasn't for those users. But we want to make sure that those users have only those entitlements, those privileges that they need to conduct the activities they need against your data. Now, what about that sensitive data, right? We have to identify it. We have to know how much we have. We have to know where it is and who is accessing that. That includes applications too. We want to make sure that all of our applications are only accessing the data they need when they need it. And today, those new AI capabilities that we're all excited about, well, they're going to go into the database as well, and they're going to access data. So we want to make sure that we are securing the data and we are managing the risk and that we are meeting our regulatory requirements as well. So let's kind of go through these, how we can measure, monitor, and mitigate the risk in our database. The first thing is those deployments. A secure by default deployment is what we want every time we deploy the Oracle database. We want to encrypt the network traffic. We want to encrypt the data at rest. We want to encrypt those backups. Maybe we want to use a ZDLRA so we can encrypt and have immutable backups. Maybe we want to use Database Vault to where we can make sure our infrastructure DBAs are not accessing our application data. But starting with our deployments is where we can start with security. When we configure the database and as the database goes through its lifecycle, we need to perform assessments. We can use Oracle Data Safe or Oracle Auto Vault and Database Firewall to perform assessments of our configuration. What are our initialization parameters set to? What is our patching level? What release are we at? What are we doing? We can use DB Security Assessment tool you can download from support.oracle.com and help you with all of this as well. And please, please, please stay on top of your patching. Quarterly patches come out. Please apply those. Make sure you're patching the operating system, the database, and the applications and everything that accesses your sensitive data. Now, again, we've got our users. They have to be able to access the data or they can't do their job. How are we assessing them? Can we use DataSafe or Auto Vault and Database Firewall to know what privileges they have, what entitlements, what system privileges, what object privileges? Can we use strong authentication like Kerberos or PKI or multi-factor authentication with Radius? How can we make sure that our users are securely authenticating to our database? And maybe separation of responsibilities too, right? They don't need all of the privilege all of the time. Maybe they can check out roles. Maybe they can do it for maintenance windows. Maybe they can break glass and access these roles when they need it. And then if they're accessing sensitive data, we have to audit that activity as well. In order to audit that activity, though, we have to know what's sensitive. So we have to identify sensitive data within our database. Hey, how much sensitive data do we have? What types of sensitive data do we have? What are we going to do to control access to that sensitive data? If we're in production, can we redact some of it? So maybe those social security numbers, credit cards, salaries, phone numbers, addresses, they don't show up to the end user. Or if we're making copies of the database for our test and development environment, we want to mask that data so we're not exposing that sensitive data to non-production systems or to non-production users. Same thing with applications. Hey, we trust the application, we've patched it, we've secured it, but Those end users that are directly accessing the database through BI tools or through tools on their laptop, maybe they don't go directly to the database. They go through a firewall instead, a database firewall or a SQL firewall, so they don't have unfettered access to that data. We want to understand what privileges the application has before we move it to production. So we constantly want to look at what is occurring and move to this least privilege model. And then again, with our AI and all of the agents and the bots and the access we want these tools to have, it doesn't mean they need to access every object, every row, or even every column in the database. How can we secure this data so they can do what they need to do? And these tools can be effective for us, but they just don't need to access every sensitive object, every sensitive row, or every sensitive column in the database. Now, the thing is, you can't skip any of these steps, right? If you skip any of these steps, we have a gap. We want to make sure that you are thinking about every one of these controls, every one of these factors as you're securing your sensitive data in the Oracle database. Now, this is definitely not going to be easy, right? When we talk about how attackers access data, we generally talk about what we call the dirty dozen. These are 12 vectors that attackers use to access your data, from attacking the end users, phishing or compromising accounts, SQL injections against applications or accessing data, attacking administrators as well. So, hey, if I'm the database administrator, that means I have full access to data, and I'm going to attack your account. We want to control that. Going after the operating system, the backups, the data on disk, or those unpatched or unsecure databases, and then the downstream targets, right? The dev, the test, those copies of production data that are maybe a little less secure than our production instance. We have to make sure that we're securing those, as well as our analytic systems and Gen AI training environments. Okay? We have what we call the maximum security architecture. So this is how Oracle thinks about securing your data and helping you address those risks, as well as meet those regulatory compliance that you have. Now, you're probably not going to use all of these, right? This screen is full of options and products that are available to you. It's just important to know that we at Oracle have thought about the risk to your data. We've thought about how to address that dirty dozen, and there are tools and capabilities available to you to help you mitigate that risk. Now, you might say, hey, Rich, I've got hundreds of databases. I've got thousands of databases. I can't do this across thousands of databases. Well, we've got a cloud-native solution to help you with that. Oracle DataSafe can help you perform security assessments on your database and user assessments. So we can understand how your database is configured, what the risks are to those users based on their entitlements, their roles, their privileges. You can take a baseline of those entitlements and that configuration, and then get notified when you deviate from there. You want to centralize your audit data as well. So we can take all of that audit data from hundreds or thousands of databases, put it into Oracle DataSafe, and then get notified when a new user is created or the DBA role has been granted. Any of these activities that may differ from your normal day-to-day operations. In Oracle Database 23 AI, DataSafe can help you manage and monitor the SQL firewall capability that is available. Okay? For your discovering of sensitive data, so you know what you need to audit, and so you understand what those users are accessing, you can discover sensitive data across those thousands of databases and then mask that data for your non-production usage. We don't want production data in non-production systems. That would still be a production database. So Oracle DataSafe is available for your cloud databases, and it's included in most of your options. If you're using Autonomous Database, you probably already have a license for Oracle DataSafe today. It's as simple as enabling DataSafe in your region and then registering that Autonomous Database with it. If you're using databases on compute instances or virtual machines in the cloud, you can also use Oracle DataSafe to monitor those as well. If you're running databases on-prem, if you're using a on-prem database like Exadata Cloud at Customer, you probably already have a license for DataSafe as well. Or if you want to manage your on-prem instances, whether it's on Exadata, Oracle Database Appliance, or commodity hardware, you can use Oracle DataSafe to monitor all of these different databases the same. So you get that fleet view of how secure your environment is. So whether you're in the cloud or on-premise, Oracle Database security capabilities are available to you. Whether it's a feature or a licensed option, those capabilities exist across all of the Oracle databases, whether it's autonomous, Exit Cloud at Service, Exit Cloud at Customer, on-prem databases, or any of your databases in the multi-cloud. The same thing is true for Oracle DataSafe. You can use Oracle DataSafe to help you assess the security of your database, assess the security of your users, identify sensitive data, mask data for non-production systems, and centralize that Oracle database audit data no matter where your Oracle database exists. Now, in 23 AI, we have over 40 new security features and capabilities. Here are just a few of the highlights. That flagship option is going to be Oracle SQL Firewall, which is included with your Oracle Cloud databases, such as Autonomous Database and Exadata Cloud Services. Schema-level privileges allow you to grant privileges to specific schemas instead of individual privileges or wide open, like select any table type of privileges. In 23 AI, we have a developer role and read-only users to help you follow a least privilege model. Unified Audit can now perform column-level auditing so you can reduce the number of audit records that you're collecting to only those queries that are accessing those sensitive columns. Encryption in motion and encryption at rest were upgraded in 23 AI with TLS 1.3 supported and AES 256 as the default encryption for table spaces. If you're using Radius or Kerberos, those have also been upgraded in Oracle Database 23 AI, and we have support for Microsoft Entra ID on-prem and in the cloud as well. Oracle has been a leader in database security for many years, and with 23 AI, we continue to show that leadership and to innovate on your behalf. So to summarize, Oracle is here to help you meet your security objectives. First, Oracle Data Security can help you measure, monitor, and mitigate risks to your data. Second, because most of our security capabilities are built into the kernel of the Oracle database, our database security solutions are the clear choice. This includes encryption at rest, separation of duties, auditing, monitoring, and data masking. And finally, because of our depth of product in our integration with Oracle technologies, you have the same database security capabilities anywhere you run the Oracle database, whether that's on-premise, in Oracle Cloud, or in a multi-cloud environment. Oracle has been a leader in the database security space for decades, which is why our customers choose the Oracle database and Oracle database security capabilities to secure their most critical data and critical workloads. Thanks for joining us today. To learn more about Oracle database security, please check out our extensive hands-on labs available at livelabs.oracle.com. One in particular I'd like to point out is the fundamentals of Oracle DataSafe. That can help you secure your Oracle database, whether it's users, security parameters, identifying sensitive data, and even masking that data for non-production environments. This will help you understand how to secure your workloads both in Oracle Cloud, in the multi-cloud, and for your on-premise databases. Also join us on the second Wednesday of every month for our Database Security Office Hours. We hold this call to help you understand what's new with Oracle Database Security and to learn a technical topic. We also have a Q&A opportunity where you can interact with us and ask questions about what you're working on to help secure your Oracle database. And finally, we just released an update to our ebook, Securing the Oracle Database. This ebook helps you understand how Oracle thinks about securing your sensitive data and your critical workloads. We encourage you to download this ebook and think about how you can apply these philosophies and these technologies to secure your data in an Oracle database, and then how other vendors might approach security and how Oracle is the clear-cut choice. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you have the opportunity to watch some of our other great Oracle Database World presentations.